What up, guys? What's up? What's up? Just got in here from a long day. Wanted to jump on this thing using my phone and say hello to everyone. No, it's a little bit late, but hey, working with a little bit late night tonight. So, guys, I wanted to jump and talk about Tom Brady, man. How Tom Brady stepped away from the game of football after 22 years. I can't believe it. I can't believe there's going to be Sundays football without Tom Brady. For 22 years, we've been watching Tom Brady back and forth back and forth from all these years. It's just been a pleasure to watch the guy play. Because for a person that loved the game of football that much, it has to be tough for him to give it up. And that's the reason why he jumped out there today and said, hey, he's officially wrapping it up. Um, Brady, as you know, he grew up in the Bay Area, San Francisco 49er fan, his whole life. He went to the games every year. Him and his parents. He wanted to play for the San Francisco 49ers. After going to school, in his early years, he played baseball, played basketball, wasn't too good at them. It wasn't until his high school year when he started to actually play football. But just imagine, the youngest of four, and being the youngest of four, and being the not the greatest as far as athletic is concerned. His sister, the oldest sister, was also, she's also at 17 years old. She joined in the Olympic team, in the junior softball. So his second sister, same thing, and his third sister. So everybody was athletic except him. I remember I've been watching this guy since, oof, man, it's been so long now. That I think about it. But I can go back to his career and just think about, what he has done for the game of football. Going back to when he was in Michigan, or from high school to Michigan. And then after he left Michigan, he couldn't run those routes very well. And he went to, when he was chosen, imagine you grew up thinking you're going to play in the NFL. You love the sport. You've been following it your whole life. You've been playing it your whole life. You want to play the sport. This is what you want to do. And then, the time come to join the NFL draft after you finish with college. And when you are sitting in the NFL draft, you're not hearing your name called on the first or the second or the third try. And you're just like, man, what's going on? The fourth, the fifth, the sixth try. BJ, good evening. How are you, sir? Tom Brady fan like myself. Hey, BJ, I'm from down there in Tampa, so I was happy when he decided to go down to Tampa. But as I was saying, BJ, just watching this guy from Michigan when he was unable to run those routes like all the other guys were able to, and then he shows up, go to the NFL draft, and he's here in one, two, three, first round, second round, no Tom Brady. He was an underdog from the beginning. So just imagine you go through this whole process, and at the end, 199, you're like the last guy to be chosen, by the NFL. And then years later, you are looking at being the greatest guy to ever play the sport. It's crazy. So just watching this guy, hello, darling, good evening. Just watching this guy play all these years, he's been through the adversity, all the challenges that he's had. Just from when he went, I remember when he went to Patriot the first year, Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback at the time. And of course, he had to prove who he was, what he's worth. And I remember when he told Mr. Kraft that, hey, let's go out and make things great. And who would have believed him? Who would have believed him that years later, this is the guy we would be watching, on TV every Sunday? I don't know what we're going to do. What is Goodell going to do? BJ, what do you think? What is Goodell going to do? Because the NFL, as we remember it for the last 20 plus years, has been Tom Brady. So what are we going to do without Tom Brady on Sunday? I also remember I was actually talking to a friend about this regarding the 49ers and how the 49ers had to feel over the last 20 plus years, because the 49er was his hometown team. BJ, if you follow Brady, you notice that the 49er was his hometown team for, since he was in high school. He used to go to all the games every year. His season ticket holder, his parents was, and just to find out that when the time come for him to be chosen in the NFL draft, the 49ers did not pick him. I wonder how they must have felt after looking at all of the accomplishment, all the things that he has done, the 6 NBA rings that New England received just because this guy, how many receiver has this guy had over the years? So just imagine the kind of guy that he was, the kind of guy that he is, that he played. Yeah, darling, Tom Brady finally retired. Yes, he did. After 22 years. If you think about it, darling, remember, even the government jobs are about 20 to 30 years. So even even them have to give it up after a while. So yeah, he wanted to play there, BJ, for the 49ers, and they wouldn't give him a chance. They didn't choose him. They didn't choose him. By right, they didn't choose him. And if you think about all the people that played during Brady or was chosen the same year that Brady was chosen back in the early 2000s, none of them are still playing in the NFL. I don't even know what they're doing. The other day I was thinking about his old high school mate, Henson. I wonder what he's doing these days. I have no idea. But yeah, so we jump back to Brady going to New England and able to accomplish what he has accomplished. Been to the Super Bowl. I think it's about 6, 7, 8 times. He lost twice to the New York Giants, and then he went on to win 6 rings for the Patriot. He has to make him proud after dedicating 20 years to the Patriot. He decided to finish his last two down in Tampa, which I applauded this guy. Sorry, I hit the like and the like button. No problem, darling. Yeah, so I applauded this guy because after 44 years of being on this planet, and you spend most of it in the cold weather, I can just imagine how he feel. He wants to get some of the sun in his system. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, arthritis started to kick in. So Tampa was the best place for him. Remember, like I said, he's a Bay Area guy. He's from San Francisco, so I'm pretty sure he wants to get back in the warmth. So yeah, like I said, man, Tom Brady's retired. He's officially retired. I want to congratulate him. And a life well lived with his career. Not many people get to do what they love to do and want to do their whole life. Here committed Tom Brady ethics. Yeah, his work ethic was incredible, impeccable. I mean, the coaches talk about how he's never late. He's always on time. He goes 110%. For him, it was not just a game of football. For him, the game of football was life itself. Because just to be that close, just to have gone through all the stuff that you've gone through throughout your 20 years, just thinking about when his career almost ended before it started. So just thinking about that, and I think that's the reason why he take this game of football so serious. For him, it wasn't a game, and that's the reason why after many years of his wife asking him, "Hey, when are you gonna hang it up?" Trying to convince his teammate to tell him to hang it up. He just decided that I'm going to push through with it, and look at what he has done. I think it's a good time. What do you guys think? I mean, I just don't know what. As a football fan myself, I don't know what we're going to do on Sundays and Monday Night Football. So I'm just gonna sit back and watch and see who, is the next one in line. I don't know what is Tampa going to do, to be honest with you. Tampa is a team. They haven't been, nobody hasn't think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in probably close to 20 years since they won the Super Bowl back in 2003. I was still living in Tampa at that time. So I'm just wondering for football this evening, it's congratulations for Tom Brady. But for football, it's sad, for football fans, for people that watch him all these years, how great he has been. The stuff that he brings to the table. It's kind of like, I don't know what we're going to do without Tiger Woods when, what are we going to do with golf when Tiger Woods is no longer there? So it's just one of those things. BJ said, I miss him. I have followed and been a fan since the first day I saw him, take over the Patriot. Yeah, definitely. Me too, BJ, especially, after he took over after Bledsoe. He has, and the way he carried himself on the field, BJ, has been incredible. Not just on the field, but off the field. The stuff that he does in the community there in Boston, to get up and go out and practice and play in that weather, it has to have some serious commitment because that weather is not the easiest. I always A few years ago, I met a football player, and I remember I was asking them, "What do you do when it's like 2 or 3 degrees outside?" And they said, "Man, you just suck it up. You put your hand in that warmer, you just suck it up." That's a tough, tough job when you think about it. It's not as easy as it looks as just going out and playing. Darlene says, I give it to him. He's blessed with a career. That's what he wanted to do. Root for the Eagles. So you're an Eagles fan, darling. Okay. All right. I hear you. Yeah. Well, maybe next year, darling, because right now, this year it's just not too many. We just got 4 teams left. So yeah, maybe we'll root for the Eagles next year. See how that goes. Yeah, integrity, great character. Yeah, this guy has been incredible. I mean, just watch his career. He has been incredible. I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, he had the ups and downs in his career. They're going to talk about, the scapegoat. Some people are going to love him. Some are going to hate him. Some are going to say, oh, he cheated here. Some are going to say he did not. But at the same time, we got to think and remember that this guy has just been a great individual all around. He has been a great player, and even after they said what happened, as far as the scapegoat was concerned, he came back out and proved himself, to show people that, hey, I can do it, I can do it asleep, is basically what he was saying. You don't know what you're gonna do, BJ? Neither do I. Neither do I. I'm going to sit here and wonder myself what's next. Who's gonna? Maybe Joe Burrow. Maybe we'll have to all become Bengal fans because this is the new talent in the NFL. But compare Joe Burrow to Tom Brady. Tom Brady came in as an underdog, being the last pick in the NFL. He came in as an underdog. So this guy came in on top of the game. And normally these guys they come in on the top. They normally last 1 or 2 years, 3 years, or the average football life of about five. But when you have a guy that worked as hard as he did from Michigan to the Patriot, being the fourth in your family, and the least athletic, and then you're able to, you always have something to prove. It's consistently something you're proving to people that I can do it. I know I can do it. You see what I'm saying, guys? So this is a congratulations video to Tom Brady and a life will live in the game of football. For football fans, we want to thank him. We wish him all the best in his future endeavor. Like I said, you guys might not I like Joe too, and all that Josh Allen. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Joe and Josh Allen, but they, like I said, they come in at the top of their game. So it's a little bit different from Brady himself and how Brady. Because remember, BJ, if you go back to the high school days, remember he did not start playing real football until in his sophomore year. And then he was still playing behind Henson. That was the superstar at the time. During the his high school year, so he was an underdog basically from the time that he touched the football, right? For a guy that dream about playing for the 49ers, where your parents put so much money into the organization, and I mean by just every year, just going to the games, you're a season ticket holder. And then at the end of the day, they said, oh, no, we didn't choose you. You chose somebody else who was better at the time. The politics of the game at the time. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Goodell is probably going to be out there crying right now, wondering what is he going to do because there's no Tom Brady next year in football. I thought personally though that he would have stayed another year. BJ, I thought he would have stayed another year in Tampa. I thought maybe he would have played until he's 45. He was talking about he wanted to play until he's 50. So I thought personally we would get another year out of him. I was surprised to the fact that the contract ended and he ended his career at the same time because I thought he would have hanged out another time. TR says great underdog story. I feel there's a movie in the making. Yeah, definitely. After the cryptocurrency and the closing line and all the other stuff that he has going on, there's gonna be a movie in the making. There's a lot of stories right now about there you go, BJ. Six round pick, 109, 6 round, 199 pick. That was the last guy to be chosen in the NFL. Talking about adversity. You hear players talk about adversity all the time. But this guy's been facing adversity from the beginning. His story is truly a story for the ages. It's truly a story for books. This is stuff you can actually teach your kids and say, hey, look how hard he worked. This is what hard work. You're able to accomplish these things when you work hard. So you have to look at a story like this. You have to appreciate a story like this and just think about from the beginning, it seemed like he was doomed as far as football was concerned. Maybe that's why he tried baseball and basketball before he went into football. Because just imagine you have a sister, 17-year-old, and she is on the Olympic team as far as softball is concerned, and you're not. You guys share the same parents, but I guess the DNAs are different. So just imagine that. So he was from the beginning. It's a great underdog story. It really is. I enjoy every moment of it. I appreciated every moment of it that I watch football and watch him play. I know he's rated as the GOAT. The best to ever do it. But I know that he never forget what I didn't think about. Is it? Yeah, definitely his inspiration. I think that was his inspiration for what he was doing, and he never forget. That's why he was always early to all of his practices. He was never late. He was always there in time, even when players are not playing. Because you're 20 something years old, you're playing football, you're making millions of dollars, you're young, you're like, oh man, I can miss practice today. Maybe I shouldn't go to practice today. Nah, Brady was like, nah, I need to go to practice every day. He played every game like it was his last. So it was hard for us to actually guess that this one that just passed was going to be his last game when he lost the game just the other day to the Rams. So yeah, it's one of the thing, and I don't know why he decided in this moment, but whichever way, like I said, 22 years. Most jobs you spend 20 years and you retire. So 22 years, I think he did a good job. He did not break anything. So that lucky for him, he did not break anything. I didn't want him to wait until he get injured on the field. So I commended the guy for doing what he did all these years. Seven NFL rings. I don't think his record will ever be broken. I think the record that he has stands at least throughout our generation. Because you know how football it is. Any given Sundays. One Sunday you might be good, the next Sunday you're just falling apart. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, guys. I do not know what we're going to do for the future as far as Brady's concerned, or as far as football is concerned, because now there's no Brady in football. So, and this is something to look forward to very soon, because I'm pretty sure very soon LeBron is gonna retire, and it's the same thing for basketball. So yeah, um, definitely, guys. So like I said, I just wanted to jump on here, do a quick video, just wanted to say commended Tom Brady for his hard work, his effort over the years. Like I said, some people are not gonna like him, some people are gonna love him. Just remember he came out, and like he said all the time, he came out and gave his 100%, his 110% each time. He dedicated his whole life to his job. His job, his career, the love of his life. Like he thanked his wife today and his family for allowing him to be able to play all these years, to be continuously playing all these years. Because after you get to a certain age, his family have to feel a certain way for him, because you're thinking, man, he's not young anymore, or young as some of the other players. One hit could actually put him in the hospital, because his bone doesn't set as fast. So yeah, I just think yeah, I think he did a really good thing. I commended him for everything that he did in the community, also in Boston, and what he was doing down in Tampa. And I wish him all the best, man. I wish him all the best as far as his future endeavor goes. Is there anything you guys want to say about what do you guys think Goodell is going to do? I mean, Goodell is probably going to have to look for a new superstar. I mean, like I said, we do have one or two there. It's not going to be the end of football. Things will keep going. Thanks for doing this, because I love him. You're awesome, and the fan too. Yeah, man. I try to touch. Thanks, BJ. I try to touch base on small, every little thing, and this guy, he deserve it. He deserve all the credit, because you watched him like I have over the years. He has never been one of those players that you saw in a lot of trouble. He's never been in any trouble. He's never been one of those players that's out on the field arguing with the coach, saying, "I don't want to play this Sunday." Never showed up at practice, or getting in trouble with the law. You saw him on the field. He performed, and when he finished perform, whatever he did on the field spoke for itself. He get off the field, and then he went to go live his quiet life. That's how football should be played. You're paid to play football, and we want to see you do great things on the field. And if you're going to do great things in your community, by all means, because the kids need someone to look up to, especially these days. So I always like that. I like to see the players when they do that, this kind of positive things that they can show the younger generation, the younger children, that we can do this stuff, we can still do this, and we can still live a great life. See what I'm saying, guys? So yeah, that's what I wanted to jump on here and say, guys. Make sure you guys have a wonderful evening. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, guys. Don't forget to support it, share it with the family member. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right. Have a good night. I know it's late. I didn't mean to jump on here this late. I just figured I had to jump on here. I just get in and I had to jump on here and say something about Tom Brady after following him all these years. All right, guys. So peace and love, and we'll talk soon.